Has anyone ever told you your voice and you look like Kimberly from the band Harry?
I have. I've actually heard that a couple times.
Your voice is
She's not Kimberly from the band.
I know she's not. She's
They're
They're great.
Story about that.
What's the funny story?
I don't know.
Oh, I thought
Was there a funny
wasn't
story?
like your grandma or someone see
My grandma, she was watching CMT at home one time, and the band Perry came on, and she totally thought that it was us.
That's awesome. You're like, yeah, Grandma, we made it, you know.
I'm here today, and all I hear is how I'm chasing crazy dreams. They'll sing, 'cause I've got perfect songs and melodies just waiting to come out of me, and you'll sing along like, oh, whoa. Fancy words, clever lines, and tales that take you back in time, and you'll sing along like, oh, whoa, and they'll know. Everyone will know. They should have believed in me.
Should have believed, baby.
You're watching The Spiel.
And you're watching, yes, The Spiel. It's sad. I mean, we've spieled it in the kitchen. We're going to come out here and say, okay, let's open up the show. We're going to get into the... We can't wait. I mean, we're at a place that if you've never visited, you have to. It's Johnson's Southern Style Barbecue. Good job. See, no table manners. I mean, napkins going everywhere.
I know. You know what? When you started the show, I was full of barbecue here.
Well, we
I
can't
didn't
wait.
realize you were ready.
It's that good. When it's look, it's not just chicken that can be finger licking good. When it's that good, you can't wait. That's why we have a fourth of a sandwich left.
You know, if you've never been to Johnson's Barbecue, it's in the same spot in Harrisburg. Easy to find. 30 years he's been right here.
Yeah.
30 years.
You know, he said he left the coal mine and he's been here. He works 7 days a week. He's trained his kids, trained his grandkids. Well, the kids had kids, so they wouldn't have to do it anymore. They're like, listen, Dad, we had youngins. Take them.
Here's what I'd like to do. This
Okay.
is a great open for every show.
Okay.
Let's just open here at Johnson's.
Oh yeah.
Have a barbecue
with
every show.
barbecue sandwich.
Yeah.
Every show. That's. I mean, that would be a good life. That would be a good life. And that's what he said. You know, we said, gosh, don't you get tired? Aren't you looking forward to retirement? And do you know what he said? He said, you know what? If you like what you do, you don't go to work a single day in your life.
Wow.
Isn't that something? Harrisburg, Illinois. Hey, we want to come to your town if you want us to, and if you have barbecue, it's just an added thing, and we'd likely say yes. But you know, Harrisburg, Illinois, it's known for a lot of things.
Oh my gosh,
we've had a lot of
sports.
sports.
The Bulldogs are incredible at every sport they do.
A lot of good restaurants because we've had some chefs spiel it in the kitchen from Harrisburg. Yep. And you know what? Just good people.
Good people.
Like Rupert.
Yes.
Good man.
He's a good guy.
And he's so funny because, you know, he's a good-looking guy, well-versed. And we picked up the bottle of barbecue sauce and said, wow, who's this young, you know, good-looking, thin, slender thing? And he goes,
That's Rupert. About how many years ago? 30?
Was at 165 pounds. That's where he's staying. But you know what? We got a good show. We want you to stay with us. We've got some talent, some musical talent from the area we're going to feature. And again, we're going to be spieling it in the kitchen of Johnson's Barbecue. Mr. Rupert at the helm.
I hate to smile real big because I know there's barbecue.
There is. It's hanging out of your teeth. It says. We'll be right back. What is it that you want people to know if they haven't? I mean, they've driven by before and maybe they haven't. What do you need to say to them to make them apply their brakes?
If you'll try the best, you'll leave the rest alone.
I love that.
I wanted to be a career military man. I had done 9 years and then budget cuts came in. The best place to start over is college.
Really nice people. So far it's been a really good experience.
It's amazing, and it's all because of the teachers. I mean, they're the funniest, most down-to-earth people I've ever met.
I am motivated by students' goals and the outcomes that they desire for themselves. I actually came to Three Rivers and met my husband here.
Success starts at Three Rivers College. Most definitely starts at Three Rivers College.
We get to know our patients and have more of a personal relationship with them. More one-on-one patient care and spend a little more time with the patients, which is something that really drew me to the profession.
That's the definition of primary care, to get to know the patient, get to know all of their medical conditions, everything that's going on with them.
After seeing them in the office, I keep taking care of them in the nursing home.
I feel like I come to work just to provide patient care.
You left the coal mine, and you've been doing this 30 years.
I walked in the office and quit.
This was your dream?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I got tired of renting houses, buying used vehicles, getting laid off every time the coal mines closed down.
Yeah.
You know, I figure I'm going to be in control of my own destiny.
There it is.
Rather than somebody else being in control of it.
Well, you know what? You know your work ethic, and you know you're going to work hard, and you want the reward, right?
I don't mind working.
That's right.
Yeah.
How long have you been in this spot, Rupert?
30 years. I bought this property. Well, I leased it. A year option to buy. 6 months after I leased it, I bought it.
Nice, nice.
Yeah. And I've owned it ever since then.
You know what? This is one of those things that you're always going to need. It's food. It's good food. People want that. Yeah. Have you seen, like everybody else, they're the highs and lows. You just got to learn to write it out?
Oh, yes. Well, food is in my DNA. I'm fourth generation, you know. All the men in my family were chefs.
Really?
Yeah.
Smokers, or I mean, out there on the smokers, the grills, and or they just all
in the kitchen? Or?
My grandfather was a heck of a chef. He made his own mayonnaise, his own mustard.
Wow.
Yeah, he was the true definition of a chef.
That's
awesome. You know, you see these guys on TV, they don't know nothing about that.
He's the real top chef, huh?
He's the real guy.
You know, where's the influence from? Is it a Cajun, Southern, hot, you know, spicy? What are you into?
It's Southern.
Okay.
It's more Southern. Like your Northern is more of a sweet.
Sure.
You know, ketchup base.
Sure.
You know, we're more Southern, like Carolina style.
When did you decide to go ahead and I'm going to get some barbecue sauce in the bottle to my friends in the stores? When did that happen?
Well, actually, some of the store owners would eat with me, and they said, if you put that in the bottle, we'll guarantee we'll buy it off of you.
Well, look what you did. You kind of took them up on it.
Different kinds.
The original is the Southern style.
Okay.
Now, is this you on the bottle?
Yes. That's me 30 years ago. That was when I was a little bitty fella.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
Good. Sweet 165 then. First thing I wanted was a restaurant business because I was raised in it.
Okay.
But then after I was in the coal mines a while, I thought, restaurant business ain't so bad.
Yeah, no kidding.
Are you doing some catering too, besides having your place here?
Yeah. Okay. We do quite a bit of catering. And I've got a mobile unit that where we're set up in Carmi right now, at Rock Bottom in Carmi. So
you already had to expand. I mean, you got another location.
Yeah.
What happens when you guys get together on weekends and somebody says, "Hey, just let's barbecue"? You're like, "Not today, not today."
Well, now what I do, I'll bring it from here.
You're like, listen, it's already made. I'll just go up there and get it.
I'll bring it from here.
Well, thank you so much for having us here today. And the guy that stopped at the window a moment ago, he said, you know what, you can only smell it for so long and you got to come over here and have some of it.
Yeah.
Keep up the good work and thank you again for sharing your story. Best of luck to you.
We love making new friends. Visit us online at facebook.com/SpielOn.
My dad came here in the early 50s and started. My name is John Smith. My brother Terry and I have Smith Dairy Farm. We're producers of milk for Prairie Farms Dairy. We're outside at 4:30 in the morning. Cows need fed 365 days a year, and you learn the mannerisms of each animal. You learn who they are. Prairie Farms, they depend on us to be finished milking at a time when the truck's going to come to get the milk. We're all one big team.
Proudly farmer-owned.
It's part of what we've been raised to do.
Prairie Farms.
We provide the facilities in the areas that are most needed.
The doctors here are very caring.
It's not just a kid that you treat, it's the whole entire family.
It doesn't matter how much you have or what you don't have. We will find a place and a way to take care of you.
We do work closely with some drug manufacturing companies to help provide patients with medications that they otherwise could not afford.
Take care of you the best we can.
We are community-based, community-served, and we take community pride in what we do.
At John A. Logan College, we make your future our priority #1. Your education should be all about you. We know that you're balancing work, school, and family, and we know that an education can change everything for you. There's a reason why so many students are choosing John A. Logan College.
Because it's where I won my confidence.
Discover John A. Logan College, where it's all about you.
To find out more about the Spiel or even watch past episodes, visit SpielOn.com.
And you're watching The Spiel. A pleasure today to have Steve Hornbeak with us. You know him. You just know him because he's worked with so many artists, but he's also doing great things on his own. And he was in here bragging about that little-known show, Nashville. He's got a little small part in it. You know Nashville? You heard of that?
You know it briefly, right?
Yeah, it's based on my life.
It's
Yeah.
based on your life. I knew that they had pulled from somewhere, but Steve, just a pleasure to have you here. And
Thank you.
Just start. What's going on? What are you doing?
Well, you mentioned the TV show Nashville this season, which is season 3. I got to play the role of Raina James, piano player, played by Connie Britton.
Right.
And it's been fun because I've been on the road for the last few months doing shows with Chip Eston, who plays Deacon, and Claire Bowen, who plays Scarlett. So just kind of in live shows promoting this next season, and it just kind of worked out. The position came open, they called me and said, we'd love to have you on the show. I'm sure you'll probably see my hands or something at some point.
That's awesome. You know, another little-known affiliation there, Richard Marx. You're about to go on the road again. This is a long relationship you've had.
Yeah, it's 11 years I've been with Richard, and we're currently touring to promote his new CD. And we're just all over the country, in Seattle and LA and New York and Halifax, and this tour ends up in Santiago, Chile. So we're just all over. It's like 20 cities in 6 weeks. So it's a busy schedule. It's crazy, flying everywhere. So
You know, but isn't it funny because you spit out these places that you're going, but when you're on tour and you're doing a job, it could be anywhere USA. You really don't even realize where you are.
Pretty much. Well, you know, it's kind of funny whenever you're young and you're touring, which I'm not saying that I'm super old, but I'm older now. But when I was young and doing it, it was all about, you know, you go to the concert and it's like you want to meet the girls and you want to do the big show. Sure. Now it's like we're all older. It's like there's a great restaurant in downtown Seattle. That we want to make sure. I remember going there. We got to go back. So priorities have changed.
I love it. You have to have an understanding family. How do you balance all that?
It's not easy. I mean, my daughter is 26 years old now, and I missed a lot of events throughout her life because I started touring at the end of '88 with Lee Greenwood, and my daughter was 6 months old. You know, now she's 26. So I've been doing it for a long time, and there's a lot of events that you miss and stuff. But you know, today it's a lot easier with cell phones than it was back in the day where you had to dial 40 numbers on a calling card to call home. So it's just a lot of phone conversations and Skype and that kind of thing.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What is it for you, Steve? Where does the success come at the end of the day? You think, I'm doing what I was meant to do?
Well, I think anytime that you can enjoy what you do for a living, know that you pay the bills doing what you love. I'm always striving to make something as best it can be. Give it 110% no matter what I'm involved in, whether it's a new wannabe artist that's just coming up or somebody you know, that I've been playing with for years. You know, you always want to give them the best. So to me, just knowing that you had a good performance, or you're doing good, or you're helping to promote somebody and giving them a chance to maybe do something they've never done before, it just feels good.
Yeah.
So it kind of.
Well, and how does that feel whenever you see that success come out of someone else? And
Oh,
you've been
it's
a
a
part
blast. It's a blast. It's just like, you know, having Billy Gilman on the show. He's done a couple shows now with my own band locally here called the Main Street Players, and we got a chance to go down a few months ago to do the Grand Ole Opry.
Oh.
Now, I've done the Opry 100 times, probably with different artists throughout the years, but nobody in my band had ever performed on it. So I kind of felt pretty cool to get to take them and get to do that, which you know, Ashley Hatfield and some of them. So they got to go down and we performed with Billy on the show, and so it was exciting for them, which made it exciting for me.
I mean, for some people, that's their dream.
Oh yes, the top of the bucket list for a lot of people. Yeah.
You know, you were just tossing out names left and right this morning. Talk about some of those relationships you've had with well-known artists, and you can even share some the secrets. Like she was an atrocity or whatever. I mean, just the dirt.
Oh yeah, well I better not do that. Yeah, I had to sign a waiver not to not to write a book.
Darn it, that little waiver.
Yeah, no, I played with Lee Greenwood for 6 years. You know, I started playing with Lee when I was 24, and then I played with Faith Hill for 10 years. Yeah. And in between, when Faith would have kids and she'd have her baby, she would take some time off, and that's how I met Billy Gilman.
Yeah.
We had some time off, and Billy and Jessica Andrews did a tour together. And basically, we took most of Faith Hill's band out to back them. And then there was a year we took off that I played with Tracy Lawrence for a year. And just different people. Ever since, like, every time she'd take time off, I'd get called by somebody, which has been nice. And then when Faith decided to stop touring after her third kid, I made a movie and all that, I just went and met Richard Marx. And I was actually working with Billy in LA when I met Richard, and it's just kind of like you kind of meet one artist to the next artist. And
that Billy's a lot older than he says he is, isn't he? I mean, how in the world is he just
he's
been
72, but he looks good.
He looks great for 72.
I went to his plastic surgeon.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, you know what? The best of luck. How do you, in this day and age, they can just go right online and find you and maybe even see you doing
absolutely.
what you're doing.
Well, yeah, because I have a studio in Anna, I have 326 Productions, and I've been producing a lot of local acts and people you've had on your show, like Eli Teller. I know you had Riley Kirk on the show. We're in the process of recording a CD on him, and just different artists that I'm touring with. When I'm off the road from touring with him, I'm working in the studio with local acts. And then my band, the Main Street Players, we're always playing in the area. And then my wife and I own Kiki's Coffee House in Anna. We have open mic night every Thursday night. And I'm always looking for new talent that I've brought onto my shows or to try to help and mentor.
That's the one thing I want. If there's an individual watching that they've been nervous and they're playing in their home and in the shower and they're singing and they're sounding really good, you're probably encouraging folks to reach out. You'd like to give them a listen.
Absolutely, and that's why I like our Thursday nights. At the coffee house, I'm always listening. That's how I met Riley and several other people that I've had. And when we're doing open mic nights and writers nights and kind of be in the Bluebird Cafe sort of.
That's awesome.
Come to Kiki's Coffee House.
That's awesome.
But yeah, I love to find undiscovered talent and work with them.
You're kind of a big deal. I mean, you know some people. It helps to reach out, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Well, thanks so much. Is there anything else that we needed to touch on that we didn't ask you about?
Not that I know of. Just keep up with us on Facebook and Steve Hornbeak and the Main Street Players.
Watch that little show, Nashville. You might see his hands, or hey, maybe even a face shot, right?
Yeah, they won't let me talk.
Yeah. Darn it! Just in time, in due time. And we'll be right back.
Coming up on the Spiel.
My brother and I, we would drive down the highway with my mom driving her car in Florida in August and with no air conditioner back in the 60s, have to have the windows all up because she was afraid someone would jump into the car with us and try to kidnap us. I tell about in the book, I was never allowed to go to the mailbox and just check the mail in our front yard. I had to stand to the side and open it in case of a bomb.
Confidence, trust.
It's not just an account, it's a relationship.
It's not just the loan, it's adding value.
When I said we're passionate about the people we serve in our trust department, gosh, I mean it.
Customers always come first.
At the Bank of Heron, it's not just a loan, it's a relationship.
If we're going to be different than our competitors, it has to be that relationship, that friendship, that trust.
It is not just a bank, it's a relationship.
Yeah, I think it's building the relationship.
There's a reason why so many students choose to pursue an education at John A. Logan College.
Because it's where I found a new career.
Because it's where I discovered a new me.
Because it's where I found a new home.
Because I am learning to become tomorrow's leader today.
Because it's where I became driven.
Because at John A. Logan, it's all about you. Visit jalc.edu.
Family owned and operated for nearly 70 years, Southside Lumber is the place to go to be in the know.
Our fleet of trucks deliver things where you need it, when you need it, and how you need it.
We get the order and go. I've been as far as Sparta, Metropolis, Parmi.
And Southside Lumber delivers more than just lumber to every corner of Southern Illinois, bringing whatever you'll need for your next project or home build.
One-stop shop.
More than just lumber.
I know.
Southside Lumber.
Southside Lumber.
We get to know our patients and have more of a personal relationship with them. More one-on-one patient care and spend a little more time with the patients, which is something that really drew me to the profession.
That's the definition of primary care, to get to know the patient, get to know all of their medical conditions, everything that's going on with them.
After seeing them in the office, I keep taking care of them in the nursing home.
I feel like I come to work just to provide patient care.
You're watching The Spiel.
And you're watching The Spiel. We have an interesting guest today, Ruthie Shelton, and we'll learn more about that name. We'll learn more about this story. I just want to begin by saying, and I've learned this just moments ago, Mom and Pops is simply, you don't ask questions.
Exactly.
Put that in perspective for people.
When I would try to ask a question about my dad's past, his family, anything before the year I was born, it was completely squelched. There were no questions, there were no answers. I was not allowed to ask.
You just don't know a person, even if it's a person living under your roof. We're going to talk about some deep-seated secrets, some things that you were probably just flabbergasted to learn.
Absolutely.
Let's go back as far as you can remember, and then let's kind of set the stage and how you learned of who you really are, who you belong to.
Like I was telling you, one of my first memories, I found a picture of a little girl that just looked like a princess. She had, I was raised as just a tomboy, jeans and t-shirts, and I found this picture of this beautiful little girl with this party dress and patent leather shoes and lace socks, and I took it to my mom and I said, "Who is this little girl?" Because I thought she was a princess. And my mom snatched it from my fingers and said, "That's your daddy's first daughter." It was never mentioned again. The picture disappeared, and that was how my life was.
So you have a sister. I mean, you just learned that you had a sister that had been kept from you, and there was obviously no chance in that conversation that you were going to reunite with this person. And so time had to pass because you apparently accepted at face value what they asked, not to ask questions.
Absolutely.
But your father became ill, and boy, when you're under medication, sometimes the truth surfaces. So let's talk about how you learned some of these things.
It was December of 2003. My dad had to have open heart surgery. It went very badly. They almost lost him. He was unconscious for 5 days. And as he started coming out of the coma that he was actually in, he went back in his mind to a time when he was younger, when he was the youngest member of the Shelton Gang. And he was reliving scenes. He was shooting people. He was counting money, stacking money, dealing cards.
You're bedside and hearing all of this?
I am sitting beside him, watching him. But what you have to understand is my dad almost died. I'm there hoping, you know, he's going to pull through. The doctors are telling me if he pulls through, his mind might not be right. So I don't think anything of it.
An active imagination, a movie.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. So as he came more out of the anesthesia, he started telling me stories, which still I wasn't paying a lot of attention to because I'm trying to take care of him. But at one point, he stopped me and he said, "No, you have to listen." That was when I realized he was telling me about his past, and that was when he told me about Big Carl Shelton's ambush and murder in Pond Creek.
Oh my God. Okay, so the surgery is taking place in Florida.
Yes.
Did you know that he had lived in Illinois? Did you know any part of that life?
No, nothing
whatsoever. So the Shelton Gang, if you've done any research at all, Fairfield, it's the same syndicate as the Capone group out of Chicago, which we know about these people.
Right.
I mean, these are the kind of individuals that you don't want them to know you, because you'll have a mark on you faster than you know what to do. So you're learning all of this. How does a person take that in, and what did you do with that information?
I was so thankful just to be getting pieces of my dad's past. Every day there was a new story. We got him home from the hospital. I went out every day to help take care of him. A new story. I actually started being the writer, you know, I always wanted to be, carrying a notebook with me, my voice recorder. I wanted those stories not just for me, but for my children, because they had no heritage either, because I had none.
Wow.
So I recorded everything he told me.
Well, the problem is you were going to record and release under a byline using your name, and you soon learned that that wouldn't happen. That was a little earlier in your life, because you were in hiding. I mean, they didn't want you to come out. Was this your father's way of, maybe he knew that, you know, life was coming to an end and he just needed to purge, and you were the recipient?
I believe it was that he had gone back in his mind to that time, and now that he was coming out of it, he wanted to share with me who he really was, what his past was. And the culmination of it all, besides the book, is that we were able to reunite with his first daughter and have her in our lives.
Well, you and Jon Musgrave have done a great job inside the Shelton Gang. It's one daughter's discovery, and you know, you have to hear things like a lot of money and not acquired legally. You have to hear about drugs, prostitution. I mean, these are all things that your dad had his hands in.
Absolutely. I put it on paper. That's how I dealt with everything in my life that was difficult. I put it on paper. The one point that I got physically ill because of what I had learned was I had sent for my grandmother's death certificate and the report from the coroner's office. She was actually murdered in Fairfield in 1967. I was 6.5 years old. I tell about it in my book. When I got the coroner's report and found out this elderly lady was poisoned in a nursing home, I was physically ill sitting there reading the report. Absolutely.
Did she even know of the activities of her son, right?
Oh yes, she knew. Because my grandfather, Dalta, even though he wasn't a member of the gang, he worked closely with his brothers, worked for them, so they were all involved.
You know, and it was odd, you talk about a visit back home to Fairfield, and was he a Robin Hood of sorts, where people welcomed him?
Yes. When we got him to agree to come, and it was the next year after he had told me, and we came to Fairfield, he was, as you said, Robin Hood. He actually was sitting in the newspaper signing autographs for people, and everyone who came in had what I termed a good Shelton story to tell.
Wow.
They told how the Sheltons took care of their parents, took care of their grandparents. If they didn't have coal and it was cold, the Sheltons would have some delivered. They would take them to work. And after we got back home and I started thinking of these stories, and my dad was still telling me more, that was where I wanted to get all of the good stories and put them in a book.
Well, let's talk about that. The visit, very short-lived. I mean, he wanted to get in and get out, knowing that no matter the time that had lapsed,
right,
there's still a real threat present.
Yeah, we drove 800 miles, and I got to spend one day. And the next morning, I went out to get coffee and came back to the hotel, and my husband James opened the door and he says, "We're leaving. Your dad is ready to go home." I got him to stay long enough for us to go to Hannah House Museum, the museum there in Fairfield, because they have a Shelton exhibit, and they were opening it just for us. We got to spend an hour there, and we were heading back to Florida.
Had he somehow in his mind made sense of everything he had to do, or been able to justify it somehow?
He never justified anything. Okay. He felt very bad about his past and things, and that's one reason I think he kept it hidden from me for so long.
Yeah. He could repress the memories, but were there violent outbursts? Was this a man who was meek or
when he was younger, my dad had quite the temper. As he got older in life, he mellowed more. So yeah, he had mellowed out.
You weren't afraid of your father?
Never.
Okay.
Never. My dad loved me, and I knew that.
Okay. Well, we have to know more, so we're going to take a break, and when we come back, Jon Musgrave will join us, and we're going to hear more about Inside the Shelton Gang, One Daughter's Discovery. Stay right there.
For more than a century, Farmer State Bank has been finding ways to serve you better, from loan decisions that are made locally by people you know and trust, to our commitment as a full-service community bank. Now with a second location open in Marion, Farmer State Bank has 4 locations for your convenience. Stop in and let us show you how no one serves you better. Farmer State Bank.
I think we were both like-minded businesswomen. We landed an opportunity for expansion with Farmer State Bank.
So without Farmer State Bank, we wouldn't be here today on this successful endeavor.
Prepare to win, because no one serves you better.
No one.
And Farmer State Bank was willing to invest in both of us.
They're a hometown bank, and they want to support hometown businesses.
Discover the links
The lending partners are willing to go.
our businesses have both taken off.
With Farmer State Bank, my business is soaring to new heights.
A new year means new opportunities at John A. Logan College. Starting this spring, you can enroll at the college's Community Health Education Center for the low price of $95 a semester. Students get unlimited access to both the pool and aerobic and weight training facilities at the state-of-the-art center, giving them the best value in Southern Illinois. Start the new year off right by making it about your future and your health, because at John A. Logan College, it's all about you. Registration is underway.
There's a place that's tucked away from it all, where around every corner awaits something new, every venue something different, something for everyone. It's a place for quiet afternoons and joyous celebrations, a place for family, music, and food. This place isn't some exclusive resort. No, this is your Walker's Bluff.
Looking at the book Inside the Shelton Gang, One Daughter's Discovery by Ruthie Shelton, and of course Jon Musgrave, who's going to be able to share a little bit of his history with this name. You know, we've all heard of the Sheltons, the Shelton Gang. What is it that is so fascinating about this name? Why do people search out information and want to know more?
Well, it's not only the notoriety they got in the 1920s during Prohibition. Mm-hmm. They helped fight the Klan in the Klan War. They helped them. At that point, they were allies with Charlie Berger. Then they split, and then they had the gang war, which was between the Shelton Gang and the Berger Gang. Berger managed to get them convicted and sentenced to Leavenworth for 25 years. However, one of the gangsters who lied on the stand recanted, so they got out within a few months. So they get out about the same time Charlie is facing his own murder trial. So he ends up getting hung. The Sheltons get away kind of scot-free on that, and then a couple other bank robberies, which they may or may not have done. So by 1930, the feds are saying they control gambling throughout the state except for Chicago and the inner suburbs. So from the collar counties all the way down to Paducah, Kentucky, they're raking in about $5 million a year in gambling alone.
Wow.
That doesn't count prostitution, alcohol, and anything else that they're doing.
You know, there were some dirty dealings. It's hard to believe that somebody so pretty and so nice looking came out of the chaos, you know. Ruthie, and you had to learn a hard way, but you said to deal with it and understanding what your father did, you had to begin to put it down on paper, and the two of you have been able to do that. And so all this is going on in Florida as well, where you lived your life. You didn't know any of it, obviously. Your mom did, and you said, quite simply, it drove her crazy.
It absolutely did. She lost her mind.
Is that because a person can only share so much, and the details maybe he spared you? Do you know if there were more things that he shared with her?
That I don't know. I know the way we were raised, my brother and I, we would drive down the highway with my mom driving her car in Florida in August, and with no air conditioner back in the 60s, have to have the windows all up. because she was afraid someone would jump into the car with us and try to kidnap us. I tell about in the book, I was never allowed to go to the mailbox and just check the mail in our front yard. I had to stand to the side and open it in case of a bomb. I had to check the front door for wires before I came and went from our house. That was just a little bit of how we were raised.
When it got bad in Florida is when Charlie Harris was active in killing some other people in Wayne County in the 60s, and at one point he was the oldest person on the top 10 most wanted list.
Wow.
They were, I think she was worried that the stuff that had happened 15, 20 years earlier in Wayne County and in Peoria in Illinois might be coming down to Florida.
Right, right. You know, I asked if there had been a number attached, if we had any idea of the deaths, and you said no, but the Shelton Gang, known as perhaps the bloodiest.
The Saturday Evening Post did a story in the early 50s, right after the third, when 3 of the 5 of the Shelton brothers had been killed and the 4th had been shot. They called them the deadliest gang in America.
How do people find the book? Because that's what you have to do. You just have to dive into the pages and find the book there.
I've got it listed on my website, RuthieShelton.com. Also, I sell on Amazon under Ruthie Shelton Seller.
Okay.
And then a lot of the bookstores in this area carry it.
And we have another one coming out. Is this another one that you guys did together?
This is hers.
This is hers. Well, in part because there's a baby doll on the cover, and I said no. And you said yes. So you know what, the untruths and the secrets and such, we just didn't know how far they were buried and where they were buried.
And in this new book, it's written as a fiction, but there is a lot of fact and truth in this book. A lot of the scenes happened word for word.
We look forward to what's to come in the future. Thanks so much for coming by. We'll be right back.
How did you first get into music? Was it as a child?
I became interested in playing guitar as a result, really, of watching really old reruns of singing cowboys. It always seemed like a good idea to me that, you know, you could get the horse and the gun and the girl and the guitar all in the same deal. And that's really what was the thing that prompted me to want to play guitar at 6 years old.
We're people, we changed every year, and like he was saying, our last album was basically like a themed album, Battle Scars and Broken Hearts, and that is exactly what it was, you know. And
accidentally themed, though.
Yeah.
We didn't plan for it. It just
You're ready to talk about rainbows and lollipops and unicorns. That's the next album.
We're just ready to have fun, and we want people to have fun listening to our stuff.
I lived in Atlanta. I went to medical school in Chicago, and I would choose rural practice over big city practice any day.
And got the GI Bill and went to school on that, and came back to my home community, and that's where I've been ever since. People have known us and trusted us for many years, and we're going to continue to provide excellent quality health care.
You know, the convenience, everyone's very knowledgeable.
I just love taking care of people because I like people and feel that's my God-given talent and want to use my talent to serve others.
These days, video is everywhere. TVs, computers, even your phone. With so many ways to use video to reach your potential audience, it's become an important part of doing business. If you like the commercials you've seen during the spiel, and if your business could benefit from a creative approach to telling your story, with attention-grabbing visuals and thoughtfully executed scripts, perhaps it's time you give Growing Media a call. We'd love to hear from you.
I love our bank.
Have a good day.
We have a free checking account that includes a free debit card, free online banking, free mobile banking, and free bill pay.
A lot of times there's things that we can change because we get feedback from customers.
We're available 7 days a week.
It works out really well, especially for our business customers, to go get change and make their deposits.
Celebrating 100 years.
No, I've stayed here because they are good to work for.
Find us at DuQuoinStateBank.com.
I do not like to pick up an item and look at it and the ingredient list is this long and you can't pronounce what you're eating because that's usually not good. You know, the less ingredients, you're better off. I don't like a ton of sugar. If sugar's listed first or second, probably not good. High fructose corn syrup, they make a good bread now. A lot of these breads do not have high fructose and it'll say on them. I try to stay clear from that because that's just added sugar. No, I'm just kind of a free spirit, I guess you would say. And I want to take care of myself and my family and my friends, and I just want people to feel as good as I feel on the inside. You know, what goes in comes out. And if you're feeding yourself healthy stuff, feeding your body, I want to share that with everybody, all my recipes. And I want them to feel as good and as energized as I feel. Everything I always say to don't forget to kiss the cook and share a smile.
We love making new friends. Visit us online at facebook.com/SpielOn. I'm Jason Pinkston, and this is your Backstage Pass. Today on Backstage Pass, we go backstage with the members of Darling Parade.
We are talking to Darling Parade. I love that name.
Darling Parade on Parade in Harrisburg, Illinois, allowing us to get out of the studio and here with you guys. And I'm really excited because I know you're Vienna, Illinois, Benton, Memphis, Tennessee, wild card, Nashville. Originally from Harrisburg, but you're in Nashville now. See, did you like that? I just graduated you right on up to Nashville, stardom. There she is, and the Grand Ole Opry, that kind of thing. So, you know what? It is a great name. It's a great band. It's a great sound. People are taking notice. What's the backstory? Give it up.
Well, we all kind of like grew up in this area, except for
Memphis, odd man out, right?
And we were all in bands together. Well, not together, but we all just kind of put on shows together. And eventually we just kind of formed a band. We just knew about each other, and I moved down to Nashville, and Nate was the first one to come down, and then Dustin was the second one. So
Dustin's still making. I mean, that's a heck of a commute. You're still trying to do it.
It is, but I mean, once we are off the road, we get a couple weeks off here and there, and I can just spend time with my family, and that's what everybody does anyway. So I mean. When we're in the studio, we'll just go down to Nashville and hang out for a couple weeks or whatever. So, I mean, it's actually really easy. It's not bad, especially when I can just sleep in this guy's spare bedroom.
Yep. I got it just for you.
I want to ask you about your name. How did we come up with Darling Parade?
It's a good question.
They're still figuring it out.
Yeah. They're still figuring that out. That's very true. We just wanted something that was kind of fitting to our style of music. It just sounded fun and something people could understand. You know, all my band names and stuff before, and I'm sure you guys can relate. Sometimes, you know, you pronounce it, or someone's, you know, announcing you guys, and they just butcher it, you know. And I think that's kind of the idea was we wanted something easy that people could just, oh, Darling and Parade, you know. So
well, it sounds fun, but I have to ask, even, you know, some of the new releases and Ghost, and I mean, not all of it is fun though. Let's talk a little bit about the darkness associated.
Yeah, I guess the new stuff was a lot different from all of our older music. We were going through some situations there, and it just came out in our new album. So, but I mean, I don't know. We like to try to, I don't want to say keep it real, but we like to keep it real. It's definitely exactly how we felt in those 3 weeks it took to write that album. That is exactly how we felt at that time.
Is the album out? We can get that now, folks. Where can folks get that?
You can get it online on iTunes, Amazon. You can go to our website and we'll ship you a physical copy. So,
what is the name of the album?
Battle Scars and Broken Hearts.
That's right.
The way you felt, so wounded, tortured, that type of thing when you get together.
Yeah, absolutely. So now when we're writing, we're all like real happy and upbeat and wanting to be, you know, have a lot more fun. So everything is coming out real poppy and fun and loving.
Yeah. Who had the broken heart?
Kind of all of us in a way. Yeah. It was I don't know. It was kind of like something that was going on that kind of had to do with all four of us. It wasn't necessarily all about a specific relationship, like, you know, between like a couple or something. So
some of the songs were kind of like that, where, you know, we kind of like to write from other people's perspectives, and, you know, so we've all, you know, in a way, we've all kind of had it pretty easy. Yeah. But we did kind of go through a little rough patch there as a band, and you know, it talks about some of the industry stuff we've been through and some of the trial and error stuff that we've had, and I think we've learned from that, and we're on the up. So,
has anyone ever told you your voice and you look like Kimberly from the band Harry?
I've actually heard that a couple times.
Your voice.
Yep. She's not Kimberly from the band.
I know she's not. She's Crystal.
They're great.
Story about that?
What's the funny story?
I don't know.
Oh, I thought,
was there a funny story?
like your grandma or someone see
My grandma, she was watching CMT at home one time, and the band Perry came on, and she totally thought that it was us.
That's awesome. You're like, yeah, Grandma, we made it. You know. You've got quite a presence online. Are you happy at this point, or where do we need to go to reach that level of satisfaction?
I don't think we'll ever be satisfied. I think that's just the musician thing. Is
that's your
we're never
longevity.
Right.
You know it.
We're here, and next year we want to be here. You know,
right.
So that's kind of where we're at, and we're happy with the things we've been able to accomplish, and I think we've constantly got a game plan for our next several months. You know what we're doing from here. We've been on the road just constantly touring for several months. And that's basically where our head's been at, is just getting out in front of our fans.
It sounds like that you're very adaptive. I mean, are you okay with the genre that you've kind of been lumped into, or do you want people who perhaps of all facets to appreciate your music?
We kind of I don't know, we change as, we're people, we change every year, and like he was saying, our last album was basically like a themed album, Battle Scars and Broken Hearts, and that is exactly what it was, and
accidentally themed though.
Yeah.
We didn't plan for it. It just happened.
You're ready to talk about rainbows and lollipops and unicorns.
That's the next album.
We're just ready to have fun, and we want people to have fun listening to our stuff. We want stuff that people can relate to, but we also, we want to have fun and move on from the, We have new music coming soon. That's kind of going to be our focus for the next few months, and it's going to be different, but it's going to be a good different. So we're all really excited about that.
Probably wouldn't be a bad thing to plug our Facebook page and our YouTube channel.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Facebook.com/DarlingParade and YouTube. Just look us up.
I mean, I saw multiple listings where it's like the up-and-comers, the band that's going to make it. They're right there on the cusp. Okay.
It's like, you're just like,
that's what we need.
Right here. We need something else just to it's like coming up the top of the roller coaster and you just kind of stall for a
It's a
minute.
thing for sure. Everything's got to work together. It's got to be multiple things.
Hey, I'm pretty confident the spiel right here. This is going to do it. Like, look,
It's going to lift you way up.
There's a reason why so many students choose to pursue an education at John A. Logan College.
Because it's where I found a new career.
Because it's where I discovered a new me.
Because it's where I found a new home.
Because I am learning to become tomorrow's leader today. Because it's where I became driven.
Because at John A. Logan, it's all about you. Visit jalc.edu.
For more than a century, Farmer State Bank has been finding ways to serve you better, from loan decisions that are made locally by people you know and trust, to our commitment as a full-service community bank. Now with a second location open in Marion, Farmer State Bank has 4 locations for your convenience. Stop in and let us show you how no one serves you better. Farmer State Bank.
In front of the Williamson County Airport in Marion, your final destination for style. Chivo.
My dad came here in the early 50s and started.
My name's John Smith. My brother Terry and I have Smith Dairy Farm. We're producers of milk for Prairie Farms Dairy. We're outside at 4:30 in the morning. Cows need fed 365 days a year, and you learn the mannerisms of each animal. You learn who they are. Prairie Farms, they depend on us to be finished milking at a time when the truck's going to come to get the milk. We're all one big team.
Proudly farmer-owned.
It's part of what we've been raised to do.
Prairie Farms.
The Spiel, Saturdays at 11 on Fox 23.
A ghost can be anything, an echo of our past, an empty shell of a person we once were, or the shadow of someone lost along the way. They come and go, but serve as a constant reminder, fueling the fire to press on and survive. We grow, we adapt, and we learn to take up arms. This isn't over, and next time, I'll be ready.
At John A. Logan College, we make your future our priority number one. Your education should be all about you. We know that you're balancing work, school, and family, and we know that an education can change everything for you. There's a reason why so many students are choosing John A. Logan College.
Because it's where I won my confidence.
Discover John A. Logan College, where it's all about you.
Fitness is a way of life for me. It is my passion. At the Den Fitness Center, we offer a lot of different programs. We have a 15-week program when it comes to personal training. Build their muscle, build their strength, we chart your progress, and we get results. We guarantee anybody that trains with us 30 pounds in 15 weeks if they listen to us. You can go to any gym, but a gym's just a gym. We're not your average gym, we're a family. And I teach people to live again.
There's a place that's tucked away from it all, where around every corner awaits something new, every venue something different, something for everyone. It's a place for quiet afternoons and joyous celebrations, a place for family, music, and food. This place isn't some exclusive resort. No, this is your Walker's Bluff.
Well, what, five barbecues? Last bite of the fifth one.
Hope you enjoyed the show, because we've had a great time watching it too, having barbecue.
Johnson's
we opened the show with
Southern
barbecue,
style,
and
just
this is our
ended
last.
it.
Oh, did you take your bite?
I did.
Okay.
I couldn't stand it. It's delicious. You know what? And I watched him prepare this, and here's the deal. He puts the meat on it, comes in with the sauce, takes the top of the bun.
Is this a secret you're telling?
Yeah. You ready? I couldn't believe it. I was like peeking in. He takes it and he dips it in the sauce, brings it out on top of it. I saw that.
First of all, he toasts the bun on the grill.
Forget it.
And then he dipped it in there, and that's the secret to good barbecue.
You know what? And it is, and it's going to lead us right into, we have a word of the day, word of the week, and we're not quite sure if it fits in. We're pretty sure it does. If it does not, you know we don't let facts get in the way of a good story. Let us know. Just email us, Julie.
It's Angie at SPIELon.com.
You ready? Mm-hmm. I got the first one, or you, first part, second part?
Are we making two syllables
We're going
out
to
of it?
try. I mean, at least we have a speaking part, both of us,
Go.
okay? Rind. Rind. Rind.
Rind.
It's the crispy outer part of anything. It could be, you know, when you put something on the barbecue, the grill, and you want that crunchy part, and you peel it off. Is that the rind? I don't know if that's what that's called.
We think it is.
We'll go with it.
Because bacon has rind, and
cheese,
and vegetables,
fruits, vegetables, yeah. Mm-hmm. It's the crunchy part, the outer covering. So if
Most
you
of the time you
intentionally
take it off.
burn your meat, pull it off, rind.
And if we're wrong, please get a hold of us, because we'd like to know the real word.
We want to know what's on your rind. Is that it?
Look, to me, barbecues make you have a big rind. Be rind.
You missed it.
I
Be
missed
rind,
it.
be rind, yes.
I wanted to be a career military man. I had done 9 years, and then budget cuts came in. The best place to start over is college.
Really nice people. So far, it's been a really good experience.
It's amazing, and it's all because of the teachers. I mean, they're the funniest, most down-to-earth people I've ever met.
I am motivated by students' goals and the outcomes that they desire for themselves. I actually came to Three Rivers and met my husband here.
Success starts at Three Rivers College. Most definitely starts at Three Rivers College.
We get to know our patients and have more of a personal relationship with them. More one-on-one patient care and spend a little more time with the patients, which is something that really drew me to the profession.
That's the definition of primary care, to get to know the patient, get to know all of their medical conditions, everything that's going on with them.
After seeing them in the office, I keep taking care of them in the nursing home.
I feel like I come to work just to provide patient care.
To have it all without spending all that you have, you've got to look your best for less. That's why this mama is bargain savvy, so you don't have to be. But most of all, I love sharing DIY tips and tricks that can simplify your life and natural remedies that you can use every day. So each week I'll feature brilliant ideas that you can use, all to help you have it all without spending all that you have. For more tips and tricks, visit mamasaurus.com.
We're trying to make banking as easy and painless as we can.
We have a track record of doing business well beyond
county borders.
And there have been great opportunities, you know, in Jackson County, Williamson County. People with the foresight to take some risk and do some things. We try to have a direct relationship with all our customers.
How's it going?
You know, make them feel at home. We're a hometown bank. That's what we're about.
Celebrating 100 years. Find us at DuQuoinStateBank.com.